So here I am. The caravan is gone. My leg is crippled. Half my men are dead, and the other half are deserters and traitors. The host be praised. At least I've got the Stoneshard.
And with that, I'd like to welcome you all back once more to Stoneshard. It's been just a little bit of time since we last played this, but I'm not too worried. I think I've got the basics down, you know? We have returned because there was recently a pretty large update that added an entirely new ability tree and weapon type. That being for, well, those being for two-hand axes. On top of that, though, the devs also changed quite a lot of other things. Values for some abilities, effects for items like berries and things such as that. I read the changelog entirely, top to bottom, so I know, well, at the time I knew what to expect going in. That was 2-ish days ago, I think. Probably more than that. Nevertheless, we don't have to start the game anew, but I figured we might as well. It doesn't remove the previous save, I don't think. I could have sworn there were save slots. Anyway, while this update was largely compatible with the previous save, unlike the ones that came before, they did mention that some values and effects for items wouldn't transfer properly unless you started a new game, so here we are.
If I knew I had to deal with an entire cult of devil knows what, I'd think thrice before getting into the whole mess. I'm too old for an adventure like this. If only I could have a good talk with Gwinnell right now. I'd ask him what the hell is going on. I've been doing this for 30 years, but I've never found myself in such a tough spot. I need to get back to Bryn. I'm not up to going there by myself, so that's why I sent for you. Do you remember how I helped you out back then? Well, time to return the favor. Damn, it's been so long. Tell me, what have you been up to?
If you've seen even one of the videos I've done before, well, each time I've started anew, you'll know that I haven't used two-handed weapons before. Probably because I've said as much. Less likely because you've actually seen the other videos. Nevertheless, I want someone with two-handed weapon experience right off the bat. I always was a fan of Yorgrim. Two-handed swords. I've always wanted to try two-handed swords as well. I've wanted to try swords and shields because, well, blocking is fun. Oh, one of the things they've changed is that for her, dual wielding is a base trait now. I also remember that they changed some of the locations of abilities, moving some down the tree and others up the tree. I don't remember what it was related to specifically. I know they buffed things like geomancy. We want two-handed axes, but alright, they each have their unique trait I should keep in mind as well. Yeah, it has to be Yorgrim. This is my favorite.
Is that so? Interesting. Anyway, enough pleasantries. It's time to get to work. So here's the deal. I can't walk to Bryn with my leg like this. So unless you plan to carry me, we need a cart. We need horses. We're in luck, though. While you were away, I had a talk with the village elder. We came to an agreement. We'll fulfill 3 contracts for them, and they'll give us a cart and 2 horses. Don't worry about the contracts. It's nothing special. I don't think you need my advice on how to deal with the undead and brigands. The Elder will give you the details. You should go to him right away. No time to waste. Ah, I almost forgot. Here's a map of the area. You need it more than I do. You can also ask the innkeeper about local events. He is a talkative kind. I'm sure he'll answer any of your questions. Off you go then. Good luck.
And we're definitely going to need it, because I remember quite clearly how rough it is in the very start of the game. How much money do we have? 350. I know one of the things that hasn't been changed yet is how do I put it? Is the unique items that can be found. I'm guessing some of them are rewards you can get from quests or quest objectives you can, refuse to turn in, let's say. I know I did that at least once because the item was just so good. But they want to rework the quality system. That's the name. That's what it was. I think quality or rarity, one of them. Regardless, you need to sleep in order to save. Okay. 1 second. Good. Really nice. Cool. First objective is getting enough money in order to even, get the weapon. What are you doing over here? You used to be over here. Don't go getting fancy on us now. He wants brandy. I could just buy that, right? Mead. 160 frickin' 2. That is going to have to wait. I don't remember what he gives us, but it's valuable. There is also the equipment you can steal from the guards. Because, why not? Space. Bam, bam. Let's put this here. Doing with mead. I guess that'll be fine. Until we can start picking berries, plants, in order to have them do that for us. don't want to use clubs, even though they did nerf stuns. I think it was from 5 turns to 2 or 3 turns. Let's go and sell these first. I am your mother. Now, one of the things we have to take care to keep in mind is that we're focused on... Nice. That doesn't... Ow. Sort of scrape my tongue. That doesn't seem mildly dangerous to oneself when using. I would also like to try using spears, but in each playthrough that we do with this, I prefer to focus on just one specific weapon type while having a bow to let me pick things off from a distance, or at least whittle them down. They didn't have any of the ones I wanted. And as much as I love dual wielding, that will not be a thing for us this time. I like to try and keep things fresh on occasion. We'll take that for certain. It's an axe. We'll have to come back for it. Nope, just stealing. Now, what we're going, such as the rack times 2, what we're going to do is focus specifically, exclusively on the axes, not the two-handed swords. I don't know what the abilities for the axes look like, but that's where we're going to center things on. Books for pretty much any other ability tree we're most likely going to sell, because they're, for some reason, vendors can tell when you've read them, which negatively affects their value. This actually deals more damage and has better accuracy. Wait, use it for the crossbow. Okay, one more trip then. As I was saying, I don't know what I don't know what the two-handed axe tree looks like, but I'm expecting it to be wildly different from the two-handed sword, which tends to focus on parrying, I think. I'd say focus on parrying, but that's not all there is to it. Okay. I'm also curious about two-handed maces, and I'd love to try spears, but that's... Unfortunately, it's all got to wait. Plus 11% damage. Armor penetration, damaging 2 additional body parts besides the 1 hit. Nice. Finish. Attacks against targets with more than 50% health gain. Plus 20% body part damage. which would make engaging with the bow or crossbow as it is actually detrimental. Attacks against armor enemies targets with less than 50% health gain additional damage. Wait, what is this? Skinning. Right. That's also one of the things they changed. You can, actively skin animals rather than their pelts just dropping. I don't clearly remember the specifics, but it's something about the weapon you used or the damage or something like that. I could go check in 5 seconds flat, but we'll find out one way or the other, won't we? Now, wait, we need to talk to this guy and set... Is it really a good idea to set a quest in motion first? When I most likely won't be able to even complete it? Because I'll just get my head kicked in by the enemies. First, we need to do a bit of wandering. I should probably save so I don't have to do all of this over again. Probably grab some food since we'll be out there for an extended amount of time. Take a sip of water before we go. Right. For a moment there I was confused. I had so much more money than I should have. That'll do. Now we'll go here and cook the food and then head out. Try and get into some trouble. We still have another ability point. Applying injuries or bleeding grants additional damage and crit chance for 4 turns, stacking. Well, hold on, I was wrong. I said that engaging with the bow would be detrimental with this ability, but that's not right. As long as they have more than 50% health, which they will, because we're not going to be speccing into using the bow. Probably. Maybe if we find a skill book on it. But these are the only 2 weapons that we're going to be using, bows and 2-handed axes. I like this one better. Hopefully we'll find some skill books on it. I'd hate for this to... Should we go here? I'd hate for this to be a video focusing on the 2-handed axes, but achieving absolutely nothing. I have to knock the bow. Or knock the bolt. Load the crossbow. Is the term knock for you when you load a crossbow? Or is it just reload? I'm not sure. Unfortunate. Great. Can't attack it here. There we go. Freaking finally. Wonderful. As long as it stays here, we stay here. There's no real point in trying to engage it until we run out of... There we go. Until we run out of arrows. Or bolts. I mean... Hold on. That's not the right one. Basic skills. Yeah, we have it. As you can see by the skill description, the possibility of skinning depends on the type of damage used to kill the animal. Piercing and crushing damage harm the pelt the least. And it's unlikely that you'll be able to sneak up on an enemy, well, on a wild animal, and be able to use any melee weapons on it anyway, so there is that to keep in mind. I don't know why it's not working though. There's a good possibility of running into an ambush here. Seems like they also either moved that card or nerfed it, because I used to be able to why is this active now? What kind of sense does that make? Cool. And I like how it's now actually just flesh. That's really a nice touch. That's right, I was talking about the cart. I used to come down here and farm the cart for the materials that would be on it, and then go back up to the town, sell everything. It was worth a good maybe 50-ish gold, and save, load, and do it again over and over, especially when I had a cursed weapon that was draining my wallet for food. And I didn't want to get rid of the cursed weapon because it was actually pretty good. Let's check. Where are we? We came down, so we're here. We'll go right one screen and then we'll just go straight up to the point of interest. I don't know if the farm for that cart was intentional or not, but it was certainly convenient. I mean, you had nothing else. I know you can encounter ambushes more frequently along these roads, but I'm not sure we're actually ready for one of those. We also need to keep heading up. See, these are no longer active now. Oh, so I have to be equipped with a sharp weapon, that's why. And just like that, mystery solved. Scooby-Doo and team can go home now. Blueberry. Yeah, that'll be useful. In case it isn't clear, I'm taking the nettle and keeping it because no berries here. I'm taking the nettle and keeping it because the mead decreases pain and increases morale, both of which are very important. So it also ends up inflicting drunkenness. That can be resolved with, well, no, this specifically doesn't deal with drunkenness, but it does decrease intoxication, which helps alleviate drunkenness a little bit. And now we're hungry. I'm not worried about the level 1 hunger because that doesn't affect us as much as level 1 thirst does. I should have been counting how far up we've gone. Here says there's a camp. That's weird. Might have to go back to this area. We should be here. There's a good way to tell. Thug and Goon. Don't know where they are though. And now we'll switch. And he's gone. Now we can just run this idiot until we get our skill back. Just like that. Oh, that is so much more satisfying than trying to dual wield. Just tickling them for 2 hits a turn. Lingonberry. say that reduces pain. And thirst and hunger. Nice. Well, this obviously doesn't lead to town, so it's right. It's either where we need to be or right before it. I'm going to assume the latter and move on. Burn that. I'll keep it for now. Where's this camp at? Mind Ward is actually pretty big. I'm also pretty sure the apothecarist needs it. Horse tail. Was I wrong? It would have to be here. Well, a good way to check is to see if the castle is over here. If the castle was here, we'd have run into it by now. Wait. There's definitely nothing here. I mean, we know the general area that we're in, but there's nothing here in this supposed point of interest. This is disappointing. Unless we're not up as far as I thought. Ah, yep, the map is on cue, so I did remap things. Good. Opening the inventory is a hassle. Now, okay, we're going to keep going up then. Because at the very least we know that if we go too far around here, it should start being, there should be snow, or at the very least you can see the trees are different. So if we go too far, we know we can just head left one screen and just keep going down until we hit Osbra. Let's reload. We have gone too far. The trees are completely different here. Wait, right? Whoa. Cool. Wonderful. Okie dokie. Right. Don't need to drink that. There we go. Well, frick. The mind ward is actually pretty good. What's up, morale at? 99%. Let's just go ahead and chew on that. Okay. I know this is one of the other plants that the guy requires for his quest. Right. We're probably here. So yeah, we went up too far. At least we know where we are now. Down 2, so this is where we need to be. We just have to be careful. Here it is. Got him. Don't bandage in front of me. What do you think this is? This guy's aware that something is going on, but not quite what. Oh, right. Burnett. Run. Right in the back of the head. There we go. Why would it? Okay, knowing where we are now, we would need to go down 3 screens. No. We're on the 3rd screen. We would need to go down 2 screens and then left 1. In order to get back to town, you don't need this. We do have lockpicks, but I want to get a crowbar. That'll help suppress our hunger. There we go. Of course, maybe auto sort would have figured that out on its own. Maybe. If we leave the mead, the staff is almost certainly not going to be worth keeping. I mean, we're going to be using two-handed axes anyway, so why would we even consider trying to keep it? There we go. We are stuffed to the brim and it is time to sleep. From here we can head left one screen and then just go down. First, good. 3 good cleavers. Should be able to get the blacksmith's quest done. I didn't try to skin the people. I probably should have at least tried. I mean, I know it sounds dark and all, but I do need the money. Though I can't imagine a case use for, what is that anyway? Raspberry. For human skin by a tanner. Whoa. Don't scare me like that. Oh, you poor thing. Let's see. That's 3. Dang it. Fine. Gotcha. Or is that balls? Might be able to get more for this. Wish I could just eat things that were already on the ground. Give me those back. Really. We're missing 3 of our bolts, but we can only carry 20 anyway. That's a nice amount of money. way more than I would have gotten for those three alone. Nice. Really nice. That's it for tasks for him. I met an elf at the Brinian market. He told me he urgently needs a bison pelt and a pair of horns. Promised a huge amount of money in return. Bison are no joke. They're probably, if they aren't as bad, they're close to being as bad as bears. It's a good portion of my freaking profits. I don't need it right now since we don't have ability points to spend anyway. Oh, wait, this might be for, yeah, for two, not for two-handed axes. I do need an identifying scroll, though. Right. Do you see what I'm saying here? This is actually a really good, okay, it's a decent weapon with, well, it sort of has abilities. I mean, it's got reduced fumble chance and increased stun chance. There's that, you know? And why isn't it worth more than 3 gold coins? Is all I'm asking. It's almost more of an insult to actually be selling it. Except for the almost part. I wonder if I can skin a chicken. A bear pelt. Ugh. I'm pretty sure this wasn't as valuable before the update. A deer pelt was probably worth less than a boar pelt. I could go back to my other videos and check, but nah, I don't think I will. Yep, for bolts, fits 3 stacks. I could use that. Much prefer better armor. You know, typically we go with the two-handed, well, dual wielding, I should say. And for armor, we typically go with the lighter things so we can at least do a little bit of stealthing. Though stealth in this game is not really well implemented, if at all. So, what I've been wanting to do is just go balls to the wall with actual plate armor, which this guy does not sell, but the blacksmith will. I don't need bolts yet, so I don't need to visit the hunter. I'm wondering if using a sword and shield, or pretty much whatever in the shield, wouldn't just be a generally better idea than using a bow. Especially when faced with multiple enemies, which is going to be the case once we actually take on a job and head down into one of those dungeons. I just love the sound of moving my meat around. Now, oh right, we do have to sell those. I think that's it. He doesn't have a crow. Yes, he does. 104. I think, wait. Doesn't he have an ability? I know there was someone that had a trait that allowed them to use lockpicks more efficiently. I don't remember who it was, but I could have sworn it was Yorgrim. Nevertheless, does he have any other two-handed axes? No. Okay. Who's this? Ah, the poacher, right. That's also one of the new additions the update brought. The times are just right for this kind of trade. Half the local lords are hanging from the trees while the rest are too occupied with other affairs to look after their land. Well, all other things being equal, I'd rather hunt on a dead man's land. At first I too wanted to start mercenarying. It's just a really awkward thing to say. After all, got enough experience under my belt, but then it's just not worth it. Can't earn all the money in the world, and I personally don't need that much. A sturdy bow and a sharp knife is all it takes, and the rest will work itself out. That's my take on it anyway. As per the update notes, the poacher and there's someone else who wanders around. They show up in various areas from time to time, sort of like he has here right now. And they'll move on after a while. So if you don't see one, let's say here, once I finish sleeping, you at least know he'll be back sooner or later the next day. If not, the day after that, and so on and so forth. Why would anyone ever buy a bear pelt from you? Max energy restoration, reduced ability cost. After that, it leads to an unpleasant aftermath. Smoke bomb. Creates a slowly spreading smoke cloud at the tile it lands on. The smoke has a chance to cause cough and applies the following effects. It reduces their vision and accuracy and increases their chance to fumble. Immobilizes the affected target. The duration of immobilization and durability loss depend on the target's size. The net doesn't immobilize tiny or giant targets. Interesting. Hey, it's only 38, so we'll do that. It'll really be useful for hunting. And you've gotta love hunting. So how do we deal with this? Yes, move that meat. I should stow the burdock too. Paragoric results in aftermath. Bottle of oil I don't need. I'll take 100 of your finest crowns. But I can't buy crowns because, obviously. Caltrops. Piercing damage. Chance to cause confusion for 5 turns. And a 25% chance to immobilize for 2 turns. Caltrops can halt even a charging horse. The Magistrate mercenaries made sure to use them liberally during the Bryn campaign. I can imagine them working against horses. Rending damage, chance to immobilize for 6 to 10 turns, during which you can just pick your target off. Of course, that's not counting the reloading of the bow. This would actually be pretty huge for dealing with, well, obviously bears and bison, the things you really don't want getting anywhere near you. Yeah, this could actually be pretty good. I think I'll take another. I don't really want those. Yeah, that's pretty good. The nets also work on people, unless I'm well, they've used it on me before in other playthroughs, so first we'll deposit the, just open the, jeez, and this, what else do we need? This doesn't really matter. We'll take it for now. Okay. Now, I know this hasn't been terribly fascinating, but we're only just getting started. Let's be honest, I maybe could have started this and have gotten to this point before actually recording the video. That way we could start from here and, let's say, move on into aggressively resolving jobs that or whoever it is in charge has to offer. But I still don't think we're quite there yet. I'd like to get at least 2 levels under our belt before we even consider taking on a quest from whatever the frick his name is. That said, I'm probably going to do that off camera so we can get on to the more interesting things when we next decide to record this. I don't know what video is going to be coming out tomorrow or what game we'll be playing. I've got one in mind, but it's really old. It's 3 years old, but it looks fascinating, and I'd love to play something fascinating since I can't play Cyberpunk right now. Nevertheless, keep in mind that if you guys enjoyed yourselves, at the very least, consider subscribing so you'll know when we next upload a video, regardless of what it may be on or about. And so with all that said, we will see you next time.